We're watching this police pursuit in California, and the subject of that pursuit is a white truck. Police believe that a robbery suspect may be in that truck. This is in the Sierra Madre area on the Pomona Freeway, that's 60, and Crossroads Parkway. We've been watching it for just a very short time now. County Sheriff deputy. If you've ever watched any of these chases, and they're pretty common in California, one of the concerns and one of the complaints has been, can they be done in a safe way? Is the person who's being pursued worth causing the problems, causing the danger? So this is always a question that is being asked in these situations. But here you can see the situation that is going on the 60 freeway now. Of course, it's a little after 7 o'clock. This is not the most heavily populated area around Los Angeles, although we are heading into the heavier rush hour time. And you can see that there are some businesses along the road there of the 60. So police, again, the sheriffs in Los Angeles County pursuing this white truck, going after a suspect. We're going to continue to watch this for you and continue to update you on the situation as it continues. In the meantime, we have a very busy Monday morning. Good morning. I'm Chris Jansing. President Obama has touched off a highly emotional and political debate this morning.
Probably from his own party pushback, then he decided to adjust or modify his position, which I think is really wrong.
We're going to have much more on this, but we are going back to the Pomona Freeway. This is outside of Los Angeles, and you can see that this white truck that police have been chasing, actually LA County Sheriff's deputies, this standoff seems to be coming to an end. Nika, do we have this on a delay? Okay, so I just want to let people know, you know, sometimes there's a confrontation between the suspect and the police who are in pursuit. So we're always very careful about what we will or won't show. This is a lot of times what happens here. The tire in the back has been blown out. I'm going to assume, I don't know this, but they put out those strips whenever there's a chase. They get out there and they put out strips that they drive over, and then they blow out a tire just like that. The best possible scenario for them is that they minimize the length of time that these sometimes dangerous pursuits continue, and they're able to make the suspect come over to the side of the road. Now, the question is, will they come out willingly? They have to be very careful if he is indeed a robbery suspect. Well, there you see, look at the lineup of police cars there. That guy's got to be looking in his rearview mirror and saying, I'm outnumbered, and there's only one thing I can really do in this situation that makes any sense at all. But obviously, if he was going to take off, this is not a guy who's thinking clearly. But here he goes. He's going to come out. They're yelling at him right now to get down. Not just the last thing they want him to do is approach in any way. They want him to get down on his knees, lay out, sprawl out on the ground. And so they're staying behind their cars right now. They want to make sure that he is not in a position, if he has a weapon, to grab that weapon, to cause any problem. There he is. Okay, he's got his hand. It looks like he's got his hands behind his head. He's backing up very slowly toward the police. They're giving him very specific instructions. There you go. As I said, they tell him to get down on the ground. He's down on his knees. He's got his hands behind his head. They're trained for these kinds of situations. He's getting up and walking back to the car. Is he going to try and flee now? So he's going to start moving again. You wonder where he thinks he's going and how far he's going to get with, I don't know, have we counted these? There's more than a dozen police vehicles that are following him. So obviously it's a scary situation, but let's face it, you need to get out of that truck and do exactly what they tell you to do, because no matter how tough you think you are or what kind of weapons you might have on you, you know you're outgunned and outnumbered. So that was just obviously a moment of panic that he had there, and he thought better of it once he got into the truck and knew his tires were blown out. And again, he's backing up, laying down on the ground. Police will approach very carefully before putting him into custody. Again, there was a period of time, especially in California and around Los Angeles, where some of these pursuits did not end very well. And so they have extensive training that they do for police pursuits. They have kind of a rules of engagement set of rules about when they pursue, how they'll pursue, and you can see just how quickly they were able to get a tremendous amount of backup from the original car that was pursuing there. So they've got the suspect on the ground now. They're checking out all the information. We're not exactly sure what precipitated this. The only information that we were given in the beginning was that he was a robbery suspect, and don't know whether the car was stolen. Okay, there we go. There seems to be one other person in that vehicle now, and it's a woman. It looks like it might be a woman. So you can see that while one set of officers are taking that suspect into custody, the others have their guns still pointed at that white vehicle, backing up, shouting instructions. Obviously, we're not hearing this now, but they, again, as I said, have these very specific rules of engagement. They're giving very specific instructions about exactly what this second person is supposed to do. So we're seeing a repeat of what happened first. You get out of the car, your hands are up or behind your head, and you're going to back up very slowly. They'll tell you exactly how far to come. They'll tell her to stop, get down on her knees. There you go. Lay out. Put your hands out where we can see them. No possibility of grabbing a weapon or taking any kind of offensive move. They're telling her exactly what they're going to do, and they're going to come up very carefully and then take the second suspect into custody as well. So in this case, a lot of folks breathing a sigh of relief there. And this pursuit has ended exactly the way police hoped it would, that the suspect is in custody. The second person in custody, they're going to very carefully check out that cab. They're going to look through some point for weapons, obviously. That's could source of a lot of potential information there inside that truck. So that is a huge scene there on the Pomona, Route 60 outside of Los Angeles, but a police pursuit of a white truck that ended peacefully, and they have two suspects in custody. If we learn more about exactly what precipitated all this, we will bring you up to date on that as well. Now, let's go back to ground zero, because as we were telling you a little bit earlier, the president